Hello everyone, Ryan here, back with another movie review. Zombieland, double tap. Of course, sequel to the first one, which is titled Zombieland. I was a pretty big fan of the first one. Still kind of am. I actually own a copy of it. I've seen it at least several dozen times, if not more. And so as far as the sequel is concerned, I believe it's supposed to pick up like about 10 years after the first movie. Which makes sense because, I mean, that's when the sequel came out in the theaters. It was sometime in 2019. And so, yeah, naturally, each character, they've all become zombie killing experts, and to the point where they even start to, I guess, classify each different type of zombie. Like, for instance, there's one where they refer to a particular zombie as a Homer, like Homer Simpson, because it's not a particular smart zombie, and it's easy to get away from, easy to kill. So, and in fact, I believe eventually they get to the point where they just stop wasting ammunition on these homers, these particular kind of zombies. And there's another one which they refer to as Hawking, like as in Stephen Hawking, which would be the smart zombies, the ones that are able to figure out certain things. And I mean, granted, it takes them a little longer than, say, just your average non-zombie, your average human, but they still figure it out nonetheless. So, and then another one which they refer to as the ninja. Those are the ones that just kind of like sneak attack, and like you don't really hear them or see them coming. In fact, I guess pretty much the only way you can tell if you're attacked by a ninja zombie is you feel them biting down on one of your limbs, chomping down, and and I guess like you're more likely to hear your own scream first than hear any noise coming from these particular ninja zombies. So, and so I mean, I believe that's all the classification. Oh, and then also too in this movie, there's much more evolved kind of zombie that is harder to kill, and they move a little faster, and they refer to them as T-800s, I believe. It's a Terminator reference, and yeah, in fact, the T-800s towards the end of the movie, they play a much bigger role. Of course, I won't give away the details, but and so I mean, pretty much in this one, each character they end up moving into the White House. Of course, the White House has since been long abandoned, and also I like in that scene, I believe it's the opening scene, if not like the second scene in this movie, but during the scene where it shows them they're of course being swarmed by a bunch of zombies. So they're killing a bunch of zombies, and the background music that plays is Master of Puppets by Metallica, which honestly is a big plus for me because I'm a huge Metallica fan. Pretty much always have been since the age of like 12, something like that. So yeah, I really like that scene. Yeah, ultimately because of the use of the song Master of Puppets by Metallica. But so yeah, and then eventually they move into the White House. They stay there, and I guess because the White House is supposed to be like, it's hard for zombies to break into for some reason. I don't know if it's because it's supposed to be fortified with steel or something like that. I remember I read one time about the fact that the White House has these like steel walls built within it or something like that. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm getting my facts mixed up, but so yeah, and then of course the youngest character, Little Rock, she is desperate to get a boyfriend, and she like hooks up with like some hippie guy that goes by the name Berkeley, and they go to some commune which is referred to as Babylon, and with like a bunch of other hippies or hippie like people, and of course they're all about, you know, peace and love and all that, and they don't believe in carrying weapons of any kind. And in fact, if anybody who wants to enter the commune, they have to forfeit their weapons, and then their weapons get melted down. They melt them down into different things, really, just really accessories, necklaces, bracelets, and whatnot. And of course, I mean, there are some funny moments here and there. There's a lot of new characters in this, which kind of adds something to the story, but not really. Oh, I mean, it's pretty much just the same basic story from the first one. Not only that, but, you know, pretty much same familiar kind of zombie story. Okay, so I got interrupted. I had to move out of the parking lot I was in because there's way too many people like showing up and being all loud and crazy and like zombies. Well, pretty much. But so what was I saying? Yeah, it's Zombieland Double Tap. It's pretty much the same basic story from the first one. It's just like they just added in some new characters, and you know, really there's nothing like too new, nothing too shocking or interesting. There's no like big twist kind of thing, or although I will say honestly, it's an okay movie. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's as good as the first one. First one is still vastly superior. But towards the end of this one, there's a scene with Bill Murray. Of course, if you haven't seen the first one, you should, because Bill Murray is in that one. Bill Murray dies. Of course, I won't say how, but so he's in this one, and it shows Bill Murray, like how Bill Murray reacted to the whole zombie invasion thing, like originally when it first happened and when he first found himself caught up in it. That scene alone, which is like at the very end of the movie, that scene I thoroughly enjoyed. More than any other scene in this movie. Yeah, it's so, yeah. I mean, I don't know what it is about Bill Murray, but he's able to. He's just, you know, he's able to like come off as very comedic, like in no matter what role he portrays, or that's how I feel. But so yeah, overall, I mean, the acting. I mean, aside from the whole Bill Murray scene, everything else. Again, it was okay. The acting was decent at best, slightly mediocre at worst. But yeah, that's pretty much. I guess it was pretty much what I expected. So I wasn't expecting much. So I guess overall, I'd give it a rating of. I'd give it a solid 7. Yeah. 7 out of 10. So that's it. That does it for my review of Zombieland Double Tap. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. As always, till next time, don't forget, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.